Hello class, welcome to CIS201. We'll be talking about using business applications this semester, like Excel and Access. Glad to have you. Your course, CIS201, is going to be focused, as I said, on Excel and Access. We'll be working on training modules and completing projects to utilize our new knowledge. My name is Renee Riley. I'll be your instructor this semester. These are some of the companies I've worked for and some of the certifications that I hold. I'm here for you. If you have any questions or problems, please don't hesitate to get a hold of me. Since our class is mostly online, there may be times that you would like to connect computer to computer so that you can show me something on your screen, do some screen sharing, and that is no problem. So just shoot me an email and we will figure out a time. So that's what I'm here for. Now we'll get started looking at Canvas and looking at our syllabus. Always remember, if you have any questions, that the syllabus for your course contains overview information, grading and policies, links to resources that are available to all students. It also shows some information about our schedule in a separate document. And one of your first assignments is going to be a syllabus quiz. And this should be a quick quiz, and I want you to get all of the points. So please review the syllabus first and then refer to the syllabus while you're taking the quiz. It is open syllabus. Now I'm going to close this out and get us to Canvas. And here we are in Canvas at the home page for our course. Looking at our home page, I'll be updating it to include this video. Right now it doesn't show that, but it does have information about how to contact me, additional links to OTC resources, and our syllabus again. Now on the home page I've added some additional links to help us navigate our course and schedule. If you click on the first 8 weeks, you'll see a nice matrix, I hope it's nice, with links to each of our weekly modules. So if you would like to start here, you can verify dates, see which week we're on, and look at this week's topic, what you should be reading for the week, and what kind of online modules you should be working on through the week. So this is out here for you. I hope it's helpful. I'm going to go ahead, though, and click on our modules link. Again, if I clicked on Setup here, it would take me to the Setup section of our modules, but I can also just click on the modules at any time. Now again, at the beginning of our modules, you'll see we have our syllabus and the schedule links. We have some information about setting up our course, which we'll be looking at, and our first week's activities and assignments. So the best way to utilize Canvas is to start at the overview page for the week. So I'll click on that. And you'll see for our week 1 overview, we have a lot of objectives. These are pulled from our textbook document, so they can get kind of wordy. We have, again, a repeat of what our reading assignment is going to be for the week, what our essential concepts are going to be that we're trying to gather this week. In Canvas, if you click Next, you'll go to the next thing in our week 1 module. That would be our syllabus quiz. So whenever you're ready to start this, you will just come to it. This is actually some information about the quiz. I'll click Next. We also have a discussion board posted, and the discussion board is an introduction about yourself. Now this is supposed to be a PowerPoint because our class does focus on Microsoft Office applications, and so we should have some PowerPoint knowledge we can bring to the table. In your introductory presentation, please keep things brief. We just want 2 or 3 slides, your name and a picture or avatar, what your educational goals are, and some interesting personal facts. We all love pictures, so please include some graphics. You're going to upload this PowerPoint to this discussion board post and then comment on a couple of other people's introductions so that you can make them feel good and make us all feel like we're part of a group. You can see mine is posted out here, so you can use it as you wish. Now, the next thing in our week 1 module is a PowerPoint. See, it says .pptx up here. That tells me it's a PowerPoint. If you want to download that, you can click on this link and download it to your computer, and then you could play it on your computer so that you would be sure that you were getting access to any sort of links or animations in the PowerPoint. But these are from our textbook, so they're somewhat dry. You can look through the PowerPoint here on Canvas. It is kind of an overview of our chapter's information for the week. I would recommend having your textbook open and reading your online textbook while you're looking at this PowerPoint. And we'll be opening that online textbook here in just a minute so that you'll see how easy that will be for you to do. Now I'm going to click Next, and I'm continuing on in our week 1 module. And in week 1, we have some SAM training. I'll click on past this till we've got our SAM stuff going, and we'll come back. And a SAM project. And finally, our week 1 summary. So for every module that we have in Canvas, we'll start out with an overview, and we'll work our way through all of the different assignments and activities and end up at the summary. I'll go back to the modules page so you can see that from a high-level view. Here's week 1. We started out with our introduction, and as we clicked Next, it took us through the different activities until we got to the end. When we're looking at the modules page overview, we should be able to see our due dates, the number of points a given assignment has, and all that other helpful information. Now, if you haven't used Canvas a lot, I would recommend finding some instructional videos, and you can always look at those student resources that are linked to our homepage to find things like that, or you can just go to otc.edu and find the search bar and search for things, and OTC's website will be super helpful and find things for you. Let's take a quick look at our syllabus. This is a file that's linked to Canvas. So again, if you want to download it, you can use this link and download it to your computer and save it, or you can just access it here online using Canvas. In our syllabus, again, you're going to see information about our course, our proctored event, and our proctored event is a spot where you have to be viewed taking an exam or doing some sort of activity. So our proctored event is very minimal. Don't worry about it being a hard test or anything like that. It's not. The purpose here is that you have to go someplace and show your ID to prove that you're who you say you are, or you can use an online facility like ProctorU to prove you're who you say you are and complete this event within our time frame, February 21st through March 1st. We are limited by the college on what dates our proctored exams can occur, so we need those taken in that time frame. Please make a note of that in your calendar. Our final exam will be available all week, the week the online exams are available. So you have a little bit of time to get that completed. There's information here in the syllabus about your textbook, all of the course information from the course catalog, how to get a hold of me. I hope you can find this information in enough places that it's not a problem. Remember, if you can't see me in my office hours, we can always get together via Zoom at some other time, and that lets us do video and audio and screen sharing all together. It's pretty easy to use. This is my instructor schedule for this semester. In the syllabus, we also explain how grades are calculated and what different kinds of assignments are comprised of your grades. Be careful with plagiarism in an online class. Sometimes it can be easy to think that It's okay to sneak off and look at another screen while you're doing an exam or completing a project. Please don't cheat yourself that way. Remember, you're the one that'll be lacking the knowledge, so let's not be doing that. Our expectations are lined out. Again, please stay in contact with me if you have any sort of problems or issues so that we can make sure that no issues get out of hand. One of those is attendance. I do have to administratively withdraw you from the course if I haven't seen any activity for 14 consecutive calendar days. So if something comes up or happens, please get a hold of me if you don't want to be withdrawn from the course so that we can work something out. Any complaints, integrity, overview for the college, and then a lot of different college resources that are available to you as a student. Now I'm looking at the syllabus and schedule section in Canvas, so if I click next, it's going to bring up that first 8 weeks scope and sequence or schedule. Eventually, this is designed to make you feel good about your fast computer. Now here's the first 8 weeks. This should look just like that web page that has links on it that you can use. Got an extra page there. And then the second 8 weeks is also available. They're colored a little bit differently so that they don't get confused with each other. All right, so we've looked at a little bit of an overview of our course in Canvas. We've looked quickly at the syllabus and our scope and sequence. We know what's coming up. We have additional links in Canvas that you'll want to explore, see what else is available to you. But now we need to get on with the business of setting up things for our class. I'm looking at our setup section, and I may jump around a little bit, so stay with me and bear with me. First, I want to talk about the free copy of Microsoft Office 2016. We will be using an automated system, SAM, which will grade your assignments automatically, and that means that your assignments have to comply with the SAM requirements. And one of those requirements is using Office 2016 or Office 365. If you click on this link, it will show you a screen print of the office.com site, and this is where you want to go. When you go to the office.com site, which you can access by clicking on this link or just typing in office.com, click on sign in, enter your OTC email address, like initial number at otc.edu, and click next. The screen will jump around and change a bit to the OTC logo, and you want to enter your OTC password on the sign-in page. You should see something like this Office 365 display. And over here on this side, you should see a button that says Install Office Apps. If you click on that, it should be giving you the options of how to install Office to your computer. The instructions are very clear from Microsoft, and I don't want to repeat them because they change so often that my document would be out of date almost immediately. So do follow those steps, and of course contact me or the OTC Help Desk if you have any problems getting that software installed. Now, if you have an earlier release of Office, it will not work. You need to get this newer release of Office for things to work properly. If you have a Mac, things are supposed to work and you can get the free version of Office. Please do contact me and let me know, because I have to set up some special assignments for you if you have a Mac. So we'll try to work through that if we can. Now, in our course, we'll be using SAM from Cengage Publishing quite a bit. So the first thing that we need to talk about is how to get to SAM for the very first time. There are lots of videos and courses you can find and lots of instructional material, and several of those things are linked right here where it says SAM, videos, guides, and links. But the most important thing we need is our main course link. So I'm going to click on that, and click on that. And when Sam opens, I'm going to have some trouble here, but I'm going to see what you see because I'm running Canvas as a student. My Cengage SAM account is not being recognized, so it looks like a student would look the very first time they access our main course. If you've already created a SAM account for your CIS 101 or 200 class, you can simply say, I already have an account, and enter that information, and that will link your existing account to this new course and give you access to all of the material. If you've not ever used SAM before, you need to create an account. You have to check this checkbox to do so. Go ahead and create your account. Again, you're going to be using your OTC email address, username, and password so that all of your information can be recognized. I'm going to return to Canvas and leave the student view so that I can go into SAM using my credentials. Now, once you've created your SAM account, if you use that main course link, you're going to go directly to SAM, and let me change mine to student view. You should see something like this. This is going to show you a calendar, and it's going to show you when projects and training become available and when they are due. So you can tell that on the 16th, we have a project and a training module that became available, and on the 23rd, we have a project and a training module that are due. Normally, your material would become available on a Monday and be due the following Tuesday evening. Your trainings will be available throughout the semester, so if you complete the training after the due date, that would not necessarily have an impact on your grade, but it'll make it really hard for you to do the project. So I would always read the book, which I'm going to show you, complete the training, and then complete the project. These are the order that we want things to occur. So this is SAM in an overview. If you've done one of the projects and you got a grade that surprised you, hopefully it surprised you because it was so great, but if it surprised you because it wasn't as great as you were thinking, you can always click on the Reports tab and find your assignment. This is an old one, but you could click on Reports and see an exact feedback report from SAM on everything that was counted off or completed successfully. So please use SAM and use this main course link to keep up with things. Now you're going to have access to a gradebook in SAM. Remember, this is just a gradebook for your SAM assignments, so it doesn't include everything for our Canvas course. Now I'm going to close out of SAM. And SAM itself has lots of capabilities, so you are welcome to use this main course link to access our course in SAM to utilize all of those different capabilities. Now, along with your SAM course, you've received online access to an Excel textbook and an Access textbook. As soon as you have your SAM account all created and everything working properly, where when you click on this link it takes you directly into your SAM course, you should be able to access these textbooks. The textbooks are accessible via SAM, via that main course link also, but you can get to them here. So I'm going to click on this Excel book and show you what it looks like. It's verifying my SAM credentials and seeing that yes, I do indeed have access to this textbook using this facility called MindTap. And it has, again, a lot of capabilities, so you could spend a lot of time this week just getting to know all of the different products that you're using. I know that's a thing. So in our textbook here for Excel, we have a couple of chapters that are preliminary. The Productivity Apps talks about using Microsoft OneNote to take notes, which I would strongly recommend, and some other productivity apps that are cloud-based. And then we have some Windows 10 essential skills. So if you feel like you need to review some of those skills and concepts, please do review these chapters. Now, we're going to be working in Module 4 to start in our Excel, assuming that you did Module 1, 2, and 3 when you were in CIS 101 or some other training facility. So again, these modules are all here for you in the textbook if you need to refer to them. I'm going to start with Module 4. This is our first reading assignment. I'm going to click on it. And if I use this middle area, it's going to show me that I can read this. Yeah, that's what I want. And it's going to start out with the textbook pages. So I've got objectives. I can scroll down. I'm using my wheel on my mouse, and I'm making sure that I've gotten all of the information for this page. Some of our key terms are hyperlinked so that you can find a definition for those terms. Please do that if that's something that you're not familiar with. I can also highlight text, so I could use a highlighter, add notes, use a reader, a narrator to read it to me. I could add a flashcard about this content. So this online textbook has a lot of capabilities to help you as a student be productive. So use the things that are going to be the most helpful to you. Now, as I go through that page, I see that I've reached the end of it. So I'm going to find the next page arrow and click on it, and that'll take me to the next page in the ebook. Now I see that this one has a figure. Again, I can click on it to view an enlarged version of it. Close that. I can scroll down and see more information about these different things that it's trying to explain to me. I've got some by the way activities, things to just remind me of important concepts that I might not be thinking about. Notice again we have our right click options up here. I can listen to the page, so if you want somebody to read it to you, that's totally fine. You can change your font size, bookmark, print, do all sorts of wonderful things. So looking at our ebook, we can go back and forth and up and down in our pages. Now we have a lot of icons over here though. We could search through our book. We could look at that, which is, if you notice, this would be media that we have, which we don't have any of right at this moment, but it is also the same facility that it's using to show us that enlarged image. We have a dictionary access, so if there is terminology that we're unclear about, we can look it up. We have a glossary, and a glossary is somewhat like a dictionary, but it just includes the terms from our book. We could create a portfolio. We can view the full book. We can bring up OneNote right here to make notes, which is a great idea. StudyHub gives us some additional capabilities, a way for us to look at all of our notes and all of our bookmarks, create our own study guides. So some wonderful things we can do there. Again, there's Speaker. You can access your Microsoft OneDrive. So if you've saved your SAM projects on your OneDrive, you can access them directly from this facility. You can also access your Google Drive from the facility. You could buy additional resources if you like. Look at additional ways that you can connect via social media. So if you want to do some social media learning, you can do that. I'm going to get back out of that. I think I have enough social media already. And then I'm going to close my Connect Yard. Now the last little thing, I have flashcards. And I got to tell you guys, I think flashcards are really, really important because they help us to focus in on the terminology that's really critical for our learning for a given chapter. So in this case, it came up with 12 flashcards for Module 4. The first one is something about protected cells. If I click on it, I'm going to see the definition. So I can shuffle it, create my own, which we saw in that other facility. So lots of great stuff here. And finally, we can click on our notes and create our own notes. So you have so many different facilities. If you decide to use one, remember that that's where you've created your information. You might use OneNote for notes. You might use this embedded notes facility. But do make sure that you can find your notes again, because it's kind of like having 10 different spiral bound notebooks, isn't it? You don't know for sure which one you put it in. Is it the red one or the yellow one? So do make sure you're keeping track. So this is just looking at our online textbook. Lots and lots of capabilities. It's great. I'm going to close out of this. Remember, this is part of SAM. And if I go back to our modules, and I go back to our setup, we have two textbooks. We have the Excel one and the Access book. They both have the same capabilities. We'll be using the Excel textbook the first half of the semester and the Access textbook the second half of the semester. Now, if you have any trouble getting your SAM account set up, remember you can email me, you can contact the OTC Help Desk, or as a last resort, you can contact Cengage Tech Support. And if you click on this link, it will have you fill out a form supplying information about the issue that you're having. Unfortunately, sometimes with student account setups, we do have to go to Cengage Tech Support. So don't feel bad if that's something that you have to do. Sometimes we just have to do whatever it takes to get things done. Now, lots of information just for not even getting started, right? So I'm going to go look at week 1. And all I want to show you here before we finish is how to access your training and your project on SAM. We already know that we should be looking at the online textbook for Excel, Module 4, as we go through this week's unit. But we know also that we have the PowerPoint available that's associated with that. And we have some online SAM training. So if I click on the SAM training, before I have the link that says to load it in a new window, I have some additional information. If this is your first SAM training module, you can look at this video from Cengage about how to create your account, which we've just talked about, but it's fine to need additional help. You can see the PowerPoint again, so all of these things are available from our module. So I'm going to go ahead and click to load this SAM training. Now, all of the SAM training is split up into different tasks. And in general, they're in the right order, but sometimes they might not be. And yeah, I don't have the ability to reorder them. So if you see something that seems weird, it might be that you are going to launch training for that eventually. So it's kind of like making a circle around the yard. You've got to go through the whole yard to get back to where you started. And sometimes when we're learning computer stuff, that's what we have to do, is go through the whole thing and then review what we've done so we can say, oh yeah, that's what that was. I was a little early there, because it's really hard to say, step 1, do this, because things just aren't that easy, right? Now, in your trainings, you can click Launch All if you think you have enough time to go through all of the different tasks, or you can launch individual tasks as you see fit, or an area that you're not familiar with, until you're done. Now, the way the training is set up for our class, I am giving you points, and these points will be given to you for completing the training activities. So again, the training activity has a due date. It will show late if you haven't completed it by the due date, but you will still be allowed to complete it for the rest of that half of the semester. Now, that was our SAM training. I'm going to go back to that week 1 module. You notice I keep kind of clicking around there, and find our project. So it says Excel for project, and it actually says what SAM project name it has. And again, we have some links here to Cengage training on how to do these SAM projects. This video is pretty important. If you haven't done this before, I would recommend that you watch it. Make sure you are familiar with how to do these projects. Our projects will not be available after the due date. So we need to get those finished and turned in on time so that our grade can stay accurate. Now, as the instructor, I'm seeing the solution file. Sorry, you won't see that one. You're going to see an instruction file that you need to download and a starting document that you need to download. Now, SAM is very specific about how you rename this starting document so that you can submit it to complete your assignment. So again, I highly recommend you watch this video and get familiar with submitting these projects on SAM so that it's not a problem for you. The first project is always the hardest, but once you've got the methodology down, it'll be fine. You do have 4 attempts, so be sure that you're using them. Normally, we will have 3 attempts, but since this project is your first one, you'll get an extra attempt to kind of get used to how things work, so I hope that helps. Alright, so that is our course in a nutshell. If I go back to the home page and click on first 8 weeks, I can click on week 1, and that'll take me right to that week 1 module in the modules section. So either way, however you want to navigate through the course is fine, but do remember that we have a lot of assignments, and there are some activities that will come up for you each week so that you can get as much learning as possible packed into this semester. So let me know if you have any questions. I'll be back with another video talking about these financial functions in Excel. So thank you.